We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more.
GM Degens. In this video, we have an update on the crypto market, some of the latest happenings, big news stories, things that are probably going to be uncovered elsewhere. So let's dig into the info and data. If you enjoyed this one, make sure you do subscribe to the channel and we'll jump straight on in. So we're starting here with Bitcoin at around and flirting with $69,000. Now, as per Crown's quant analysis, Monday typically is the most positive day of the week for Bitcoin. We had a big spike yesterday up to 70,300. Got me excited, not going to lie, but then we had the full retrace a matter of hours later. Bitcoin now at 69K. Tuesday, however, the most likely day to close negative. So will we continue to chop, or will we have a Tuesday negative kind of story play out? The areas to watch here, 67.5, this kind of region, the lows here. If we close below that, likely Bitcoin will fall into this area and actually spend some time here reaccumulating some more at deeper value territory. Otherwise, if we can maintain our kind of stance here, then we are going to potentially have a push to the upside and hopefully break out for once, because it has felt very boring, very tedious, and I personally am ready for up. Let's move on to some headlines here. Feds Williams, we don't need to be exactly at 2% in terms of inflation to cut interest rates. So economic data in the US, the GDP forecasts have got worse recently. This is one of the forecasts from the Atlanta Fed here, pretty much dropping off the cliff. And so this is going to potentially mean they have to start cutting rates sooner rather than later. And as Fajal posted here, Fed cuts in July, probability he believes will be over 50% within the next 3 weeks. Rate cut for July currently priced at just 14.5% chance of happening. So he's saying, look, data's getting worse. July, I think it's the end of July, they have an FOMC. The likelihood is cut will happen there, or at least we'll be at, at least 50% odds, 50-50 coin flip on that happening. There is also an FOMC meeting in June, I believe around the 11th, 12th. So what we have in the recipe basket is rates are high, as Vance Spencer posts here, and we're waiting for the next leg of the markets. But he says the bull run really starts when the rate cuts start to happen. Rates are at 5.5. He says we've got a lot of room for things to get really silly with them being cut. Loosening up of financial conditions, plus all the catalysts we have on the plate currently, could be fireworks towards the end of this year. So patience is the aim of the game here, and I'm trying to practice that myself. Now, some more positive news, ETF-wise, 15 days of consecutive green flows, as you can see, via the numbers down here. Lots of inflows over the last 15 days. We haven't had a negative outflow day within that time period, which of course shows you that the kind of winds of change have occurred. We were always worried about GBTC previously, but that seems to have now passed in the majority. Now, what we need for the next leg up is increased liquidity yet again. So what you can see from this chart here, which just tracks the amount of stable coins in crypto, so the amount of stable coins that are ready to be deployed, we haven't seen many of those whale alerts coming in as of late, USDT being printed. And it's been pretty flat here, as you can see from around the start of May, 159 to 160 billion. So it's been like 4-5 weeks of no increase in stablecoins on crypto rails, and thus the markets have been pretty flat overall. So we're waiting for this kind of global liquidity to increase, and then we'll see a big trickle down effect into the total stablecoins. And if we just pull this out to max here, I think all-time high somewhere around 188 billion last cycle. We're going to go far beyond that. Now, just check out this video. Jesse Pollack posted it. You can now text 100 plus tokens on Base to anyone, anywhere. So with the Coinbase wallet here, it's just going to show a quick preview of you taking your balance and texting some of it. So maybe you want to send a tenner to a friend. Just jump into your contacts list, text them, find the number, find the contact address, and then you can send them a link to actually scoop up those 10 bucks as per this quick tutorial here. So pretty interesting stuff. As he's saying here, kicking off on-chain summer, this is a great onboarding tool. And having used the Coinbase wallet myself and also having onboarded some friends using Coinbase wallet, it is super, super intuitive, a real Web 2 app, if you will. Just everything works so smoothly. Typically in crypto, there's usually a few little hop, skips and jumps that just like provide a barrier to entry to most people, but I think Coinbase have absolutely nailed it here. So another string to the bow, definitely something to keep an eye on here. And I think base chain exposure, having some makes some sense, even though yes, there has been a lot of rugs, etc. But you're seeing things like this that other chains can't compete with. Quick one on IONET here, season 3 of their rewards coming between the 1st and 30th of June. So I do believe this will mean token launch at the end of this phase, which will be pretty much a 2-month pushback from the initial deadline. So all eyes on this one, still very much interested. There's been a lot of FUD around IONET, so hopefully it will launch at a decent valuation because the thesis around GPU usage has not gone away, even though the FUDsters, the likes of Martin Shkreli and others, have been quite loud. So that actually will probably be helpful in terms of token price, hopefully not being too high. Now we also have Layer 0 connecting the dots here and bringing Solana into the fray. So Layer 0, one of the most popular cross-chain messaging and also cross-chain bridging protocols. Currently now with Solana going live, it connects Sol to ETH, ARB, Optimism, Base, BNB, Avalanche, and Polygon, but it does say here there's some additional audits to be made. And once those are complete, it will connect Solana then to an additional 70 different chains. So in some senses, Solana in terms of bridging infrastructure has been siloed a little bit recently in the past, but this will actually make it a lot more accessible. And with the Layer 0 rollout that's coming, you've got the likes of, say, Tapioca DAO coming online, which will be a borrow lend market, which will allow you to borrow using your assets as collateral on one chain, but take out the loan on another. There's just some really cool things that can happen with Layer 0. And I think this just shows you that obviously Solana is going to be one of the main chains that needs to be plugged in, because that is kind of one of the liquidity hubs in crypto right now. I think it's the second biggest, overtaking BNB chain, which is definitely of interest. Now, do you want to see an absolute Chad in action here? So this is Casey Rodarmor, who is the creator of Runes. This will segue nicely for us, but he, at Consensus 2024 here, just a few days back, listen to his on-stage announcement here.
99.99% of the projects at this conference are complete and utter bullshit. They have some fancy white paper, they make all these crazy claims, right? And their purpose, if we ignore, you know, what they are trying to do, yeah. Glad that that's sort of known. But, you know, their purpose is really to print a token and dump it on retail investors.
Chad, have to agree with that statement as well, because a lot of projects clearly are either slow rugs or just straight up rugs that are just trying to dump their tokens on retail's heads, as he says. So calling out people at Consensus, they're pretty damn funny. Does Casey have a Runes project, I wonder? Well, this is his kind of under the radar anarcho cat bus. I think Chico Crypto did a full deep dive video into the lore behind this and uncovered that he is behind anarcho cat bus. It is number 28 on the Runes marketplace, 2.4 mil market cap only, very low market cap. After the initial run-up of Runes around their initial release, there's been a big pullback, but they have started to mark up once more. So that is his under-the-radar token, 2.4 mil market cap. I own this one. I do think it will go a lot higher, and that is just cheap, cheap, cheap. As you can see, just 35 BTC is the market cap value. And my other favorite Runes collection is Mr. Yen, the Japanese businessman, which is just a funny, funny meme. But check out this latest video they posted. It's pretty decent. Mr. Yen wins again. He is on here somewhere as well. Let's just try and find Mr. Yen, maybe a little bit higher. Mr. Yen, Japanese businessman, is here. 5.7 mil market cap. another great runes protocol. Generally, having done the early runes like introductory video, which is one of the first ones that was on YouTube, I was looking for potential cults to form on these runes. They're essentially meme coins. And then what you want to see is them have their pump up initially, have a big retrace, and then you get to find out if they die, kind of if they sink or if they swim, if you will. And both of these protocols that I invested in, Mr. Yen and also Anarcho-Cat Bust, seemingly have now started to regather a little bit of momentum, have had their kind of 80-90% drawdowns, and now are starting to creep up a little bit. So definitely something for the radar. And the fact that if it doesn't die, probably can do well later on in the cycle. Little bit of Solana floor here. Breaking news, Solana dominates the daily active address count, surpassing Bitcoin and ETH combined. As you can see, green here, around 1.5 to 2 million daily actives on here. Both Bitcoin and ETH down here languishing, maybe that's around 270s, 300k daily active wallets. Then for flipping enthusiasts of Sol versus ETH, you can see here Jupiter Exchange in the last 24 hours did more volume than Uniswap V3 on ETH. So this shows you that the home of trading is slowly positioning itself as Solana, and it's just slowly becoming the de facto place, and it's becoming consensus over time. Now the market share by total trading volume in crypto, 15% goes through Jupiter right now. So that number is climbing. It's climbing quite quickly as well. And so these are definitely metrics that make me very bullish on the Sol ecosystem overall. Now, last thing, chart of the day from a meme coin here. We have POPCAT, which does look like it is ready for higher. I think if Bitcoin does break out, some of these meme charts look very similar in structure to this, where they're holding nice steady ground at certain key levels, bids coming into the market. There's sell-offs when Bitcoin sells off, but I think as soon as BTC makes the move, some of these tickers like POPCAT, like a few others, are just ready to absolutely moon. Have scanned a load of utility coins. Most of the charts don't look as good as some of these top kind of blue chip memes in the market. So yeah, we'll continue in the meme markets until the market shows us otherwise, but it looks like the memes are here to stay. But that's all from today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. See you in the next one. Peace.